Welcome to My Life, My Choice, coming to you live from Las Vegas in Nevada. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of October, 2013, and the hour is 1 p.m. My name is Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and I will be your host for the next approximately 60 minutes, maybe a little less today. My co-host, expressions coach and artist, Olivia Lashley, who usually comes to us live from London in the UK, will not be with us today. It is her daughter's birthday, so they're celebrating. So on that note, I'd like to say happy birthday, Sabina. That's my niece, my second eldest niece, actually. And happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you're still enjoying your day because it's only 9 o'clock there in the evening. So happy birthday, darling. And also to my eldest niece, Georgianne or Georgette Rogers, I'm assuming it's still sunny in Florida, sunny Florida, whose birthday is on Saturday. So happy birthday to you two, darlings. Love you both. Happy birthday. So that being said, I hope all's going well in your world, as I don't have anybody here to ask me, and usually my co-host and sidekick never really asks me. I usually have to say, well, aren't you going to ask me how I'm doing? So on that score, I've got it down pat. So Wendy, how you doing, girl? I am doing fine. I'm having a wonderful day today. Actually, this week has been a phenomenal week. I had a wonderful weekend. I actually delivered my first message at the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, which is a Science of Mind church. For me, it's a metaphysical church, and I delivered a message, my message there, and it went awesome. It was absolute BAM! That's what the message was about. That and some other things. So for those of you who know me, you know that I'm all about choice. So I did that, and that actually, it was absolutely wonderful. Taught a workshop after on the power of your conscious choice. That too was absolutely wonderful. So all in all, I've had an awesome week, And my week really clicks in from Wednesday to Wednesday. So I've had an awesome week and looking forward to another one. So that being said, guys, prosperity. I'm just going to sort of recap and go over a few things, and then I'm going to actually talk about BAM versus abracadabra. Okay, BAM versus abracadabra. Prosperity, one of the things that Olivia said on the show last week is that prosperity is, for all intent and purposes, a side effect or the end product of all the things that you do. One of the things that I learned this week, and I learned it well, is that in regard to the law of attraction, many people are not aware of the fact that there are laws that actually make up the law of attraction. And these laws actually are more than the law of abundance, more than the law of love. And I know that we've done this all before, guys. I'm flicking through my notes. I know you can hear that. I know that we've done this all before. But this is something that really keeps cropping up when people actually talk about prosperity. When people talk about prosperity, it's like, okay, the law of abundance. Well, there's so much more to the law of abundance than just the law of abundance. The law of abundance is a universal law. It's an immutable law. The law of attraction is an immutable law, but it's made up of several other laws. Actually, I have said that it's made up of 14 or 15 laws, and laws that have to be laws that you actually need to understand. The understanding is paramount. If you don't have the understanding, because this is why, like on Sunday, several people said to me in regard to the law of attraction that they found that it doesn't really work. Well, you see, it doesn't work because their thought process, or they don't understand that there are several other laws that actually create the the law of attraction. So I'm just going to go through those today. I'm just going to quickly go through those. I believe I did it last week, so bear with me. I'm going to do it again because I actually feel that it's really, really necessary. You know, in the land of abracadabra, in the land of magic, magic is understanding how to utilize the energy or energies to create that which you say that you want. Abracadabra is a magician's way of pulling things out of the ethos and making it real. Abracadabra is knowing, absolutely knowing with a certainty that if I say I want XYZ and now abracadabra, I can make it appear by using this word abracadabra. It's understanding immutable laws. It's understanding. Abracadabra means that you can understand immutable laws. But anyway, I'm going to come back to that. The law of attraction. It all starts out with the law of choice. You need to choose something so that you can kind of magnetize yourself to it, which is another law. So you have to choose something, and once you've chosen it, you've invoked the law of command. Now, the law of command is simply this, that when you choose something through your spoken words, even through your thought backed up with intention and passion, but through your spoken word, you invoke the law of action, divine flow, magnetism, and imagination. So again, guys, it's like this, the law of choice. Now, the law of choice is something that is binding and irrevocable. When you actually make a choice, you have signed a contract that actually changes the energetic frequency of who you are. It's binding. It becomes like we move into form and outer form. It becomes a part of the creation of who you are when you make a choice. This is why, for me, choices are so powerful. This is why I do what I do. So people can understand that your choice is all you got. You can choose to love or not to love. You can choose to be happy or not to be happy. You can choose to be sad or not sad. You can choose to forgive or not to forgive. You can choose to live a life in gratitude, or you can choose a life that's ungrateful. You can choose to smile or not to smile. You can choose to live or die. There is a common denominator in everything that I have said, and that word is choose. It is about choice. That's why your life is all about, from your cradle to your grave, it's about choices. And that's something we take for granted. You know, we just sail through life, not realizing that every step we take or every wave we crest, it's because of a choice. So the law of choice is binding. It's who you are. The contract is really simple, and it states this: whatever you do or don't do is a choice. Whatever you say or don't say is a choice. And the contractual agreement says or states in the law of choice, we are bound by ownership, responsibility, and accountability. And it can be no other way. So in the law of attraction, the first thing that comes up is the law of choice. Then the law of command. This is when you consciously choose to use the spoken word, even if it's as a thought process. When you choose to use the spoken word, and you know the thing is, we are invoking into our lives things that we don't want, based on the fact that we think about them. And if you think about something, in order for you to actually understand and communicate that thought process to yourself, never mind anybody else, you have to use a word. Because if you see something and you see something or you taste something and you don't know how to describe this taste, because you have to think about the thought process of how to describe the taste, what you will do is you will call upon words that you know that are similar to the taste experience that you're having. Our words are really, really powerful, and I'm actually not even going to go down that road today because I'll just fall off on a tangent. I'll just fall off. So, and I don't have my sidekick here to keep me reined in. So the law of command, it's about you choosing to use your spoken word to invoke that which you want. And when you do that, when you use your words, you use the law of action, the law of divine flow, the universal law of magnetism, and the universal law of imagination. Now, the universal law of action can only bring what you request to your life. The universal law of action can only bring what you request to your life. And by acting on it, you have to act on it in order for it to come into your life. Because if you don't act on it, if you don't take action, knowledge. It's just knowledge. So the universal law of action is this: only action brings your request to life. You have to do something. You have to do something. And that something can actually be putting the emotional correspondent of passion behind it. It can be the emotional correspondent of adding discipline or intention to it. But you have to take some form of action. Otherwise, it's just knowledge. It's a little bit like having a book in your bookshelf. Book in the bookshelf isn't going to do anything for you unless you actually read the content within the book and then choose to do something with the content. So with action, what then is invoked once you take an action is the law of return. Now, the law of return is also known as the law of reaction. And usually they're clumped together, action and reaction, but they're two totally different laws, like the law of cause and effect, two totally different laws. But they're clumped together based on a sequence of how things unfold. So you have the universal law of return. And what this law says or speaks about is the reaction that is initiated as part of the law action. Okay, guys? So what the law of return speaks about is the reaction to the action that you have taken. And what this really smacks of is basically this: whatever you put out there cannot return to you void. Whatever energy you throw out there has to come back to you in some shape or fashion. But, understanding the universal law of attraction and the laws that make it up puts you in a position of power to put out there with focus what it is that you're wanting. And understanding, if you are using the principles that many people use for the law of attraction, primarily affirmations, you need to understand, if you're not getting what you are affirming for, that means somewhere along the line there are other laws that you have not you have not looked at. You have not looked at. I mean, one of the things that I spoke about, and I said this last week on the show, is that with the law of attraction, people take, for instance, the law of space. There's the universal immutable law of space. You know, there's the void, it has to be filled. If you are wanting something in your life, you need to create space for it. So sometimes you need to empty things out, whether it be a mental feng shui, where you cleanse out the mind, or whether it actually be a physical thing, where you cleanse out your car, where you cleanse out your home, where you cleanse out your office, where you cleanse out your desk drawers. So it's really important. It's just not one thing, you know, the law of attraction. It's just not one thing. So anyway, we have the law of consciousness. This is a unique law for me. As our internal and external consciousness expands, our awareness of opportunities, abilities become cognizant to us. So as we expand in consciousness, we can actually choose to expand in the awareness of our consciousness. Because being conscious and being aware are two totally different things. Being conscious, take for instance, you might have got knocked out. If you are awake, it means that you're conscious. But if you are aware, you are not only awake, but you are aware. You know what is going on in your surroundings. So the law of consciousness is a very unique law for me. And it's a unique law within the law of attraction. And then we have the law of divine flow. And the law of divine flow is all about living in the moment, living in the now. Because living in the moment and living in the now is where you are centered. That is your center point. And when you are living in the moment and living in the now and you are in your center point, you are open to what the universe has to offer. So living in the divine flow means that you are in the now, which means that you are conscious, consciously aware of what's going on, so that you can speak into existence that which you say that you want. So action, you can take that action and you can have the reaction through your choice for what it is that you are saying to the universe that you want. Another one is, and this is a huge one. I mean, we've done shows on this by itself. The law of attraction. The law of forgiveness. I spoke about the law of space, the universal law of space. The law of forgiveness is definitely entangled with or enmeshed with the law of space, especially the emotional or the mental side of you. It's really, really important to release perceived hurts and allow yourself the freedom of authentic expression. And allow yourself to recognize that all other people, places, and things around you have the divine right through the law of choice to express themselves authentically how they want to. So the law of forgiveness is something that I believe that everybody has to practice daily. Starts out by forgiving yourself first. For all things that you have done to you, for all things that you have allowed to be perpetrated against you. And hear me clearly. I am saying all things that you have allowed to be perpetrated against you. And I am not condoning anything that has happened to anybody that could be considered heinous, evil, whatever term. What I am saying is it happened because of choices that you made. Now, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It just is. And again, hear me clearly. I am not condoning anything that's happened to anybody. But at the end of the day, if it happened to you, how did it happen to you? Not why. How did it happen to you? How did this event happen to you? You had to have made a choice to be somewhere. Now, again, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It just is. And again, hear me clearly. I'm not condoning anything that has happened to anybody or saying that people shouldn't be put into jail for things that they have done that are wrong, the transgressions that they have done. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that if something's happened to you, you are 100% responsible. 100% responsible. There you go. Thank you. 100% responsible for you. You can't control what other people can do. You can only control you. So the law of forgiveness is huge, and forgiveness actually starts with you. And it allows you then to view life from a place of authentic expression, authentic truth, and authentic freedom. The law of love. Well, many people say, is all you need is love. Before you can love, you have to choose it. Before you love, you have to be able to know what love is. You have to know what love is. And in order to love you, you need to know what love is. If you don't love you and know what love is for you, then you really can't love anybody else. And this is one of the things that I see in most relationships. People don't know how to love self. People don't know how. Our lives are so externalized. And that's where people look for love. Love is an inside job because your life is an inside job. People don't know how to love self. Now, the law of love in itself is the law of transmutation. The vibration of this energy can change all things. By simply seeing the divine in all situations and all living things, the law of love can transmute them. In the same way, the law of love, when you love you, you transmute you. When you love you, the forgiveness is in that. When you love you, you are in divine flow. You are conscious. You are consciously aware of who you are, where you are, and what's going on. And that sets you into action and reaction. And you, by the virtue of making this command via the choices that you have made, you will be able to manifest that which you say that you want. Because you see, the law of love, as it transmutes, it will do things like invoke the law of magnetism. In order for you to have what you want, you have to magnetize it to you. You have to be that magnet. But in order for you to have the right polarity, you have to do things like forgive. And it starts with you. You have to love. The universal law of magnetism, it's one of the things, it's the law that unifies our essence or our energy with the essence of that which we say we are wanting or that which we are trying to attract ourselves to. But understand, if there are things that are getting in the way, if like the law of space, like if you're trying to drive down the street and all these trees have fallen and, you drive for another 5 miles or another 500 yards and, here you've got a light pole that has fallen down, and then, you've got kids or animals or people in the street. No, you see, the law of magnetism unifies the essence of who we are, but it can only unify us in a proper way if some of this other stuff is taken, not some of it, if this other stuff is taken away or moved out the way or cleared up or seen to. You see, in order to manifest, which is the next law, the law of manifestation, in order to manifest that which you have magnetized yourself to, from an intangible into a tangible or physical form, you need to be able to choose it. You need to be able to command it. You need to be able to invoke that law of action and reaction. You need to be consciously aware of it. You need to be in divine flow. And divine flow is really important, being in the now. So the law of manifestation is simply this. This law makes that which we have magnetized tangible, or it moves it into form, into physical form. The unformed takes on form. And the unformed is the thing that you're thinking about, because it's a thought process. It's not like this table. It's not like this table or wherever you're sitting. So the unformed takes on form, which then becomes like the table or the chair that you're sitting at, or the headphones that you're using, or the phone that you're listening on. It then becomes manifest. It becomes physical. The actual vibrational, the vibration actually slows and becomes denser. Doesn't make it any less, because it all comes from the same thing. That's energy moving into form and out of form. It's just the rate at which it vibrates. Understanding the universal law of attraction and the power of your conscious choice is paramount to you getting that which you say that you want. Paramount. With this, in order for you to manifest anything in your life that you are actively going after, for me, this, outside of course the law of choice, which for me the law of choice is a no-brainer. Ironically, in my notes, I didn't even mark that off as number 1. I started at number 2. There's no number 1 on the page. It just says the law of choice. The law of discipline. The law of discipline actually is like rocket propellant. It's the fuel that will make what you want to happen. The law of discipline, by being disciplined in the ability to forgive yourself and then forgive all others. The law of discipline in being able to love yourself and love all others. The law of action, taking good action for what you want. It's all about discipline. Discipline provides the focus and the commitment to achieve all the skill levels and all the depth of knowledge needed to forge forward, so that we can attract, so that we can manifest that which it is that we say that we want. It establishes the actual bridge between where we find ourselves now and where it is that we are wanting to arrive at, the destination or the goal that we want to arrive at. This is the law of discipline. And sadly, and I am in this pot, believe me, sadly, the majority of us lack true discipline. We lack true discipline. And this is for a variety of reasons, but the name of the game is, for whatever the variety of reasons, that's your history. Your destiny is this. If you truly want to be able to manifest that which you say that you want to manifest, you need to be disciplined. And that's about staying focused. It's about committing to the process. It's about invoking the law of commitment. Another law that's really, really important is the law of honesty. the law of truth. It's also known as the law of truth, the law of honesty. And again, most of us aren't authentic. We'll have dialogues going on inside our heads and yada, yada, yada. But because it is politically correct to phrase something this way, or because it's duty, we feel it's our duty, or because this is the way that we have been taught, many people are not truly honest in their outward expression. And so therefore, what happens is you get what you truly believe. Bam! You get what you truly believe. How you use your energy for your abracadabra, that's what you get. Abracadabra is about your truth. Abracadabra is about your belief in what you believe. Abracadabra is about the passion of your authenticity. Abracadabra is about knowing that what you want or what you feel is truly right for you. Abracadabra is about expressing it. So the law of honesty, or the law, people do things, they won't speak up because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And what people don't realize is that by not speaking up, you are hurting their feelings and yours. Because guys, we read each other. The non-verbals. This is why you can walk into a room and you know something's wrong. Everybody's laughing. Ha, 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 everybody, blah, 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 blah. But you walk into the room and you know something's wrong. And you can have a conversation with everybody in that room and everybody's like, hey, did you kind of feel the energy in there? Yeah, everybody was laughing and, having a good time. But I don't know, there was like this, I don't know what it was. Yeah, did you feel that? I felt that too. Wow. These are nonverbals. This is how we communicate. And we communicate on that level for many reasons, not only as a matter of survival, but so that we know it's about the check and the balance. Because what you're seeing, the outward expression of things that you see, doesn't mean that it's true and right. It could be a facade. It could be a beautiful facade and you think behind it is some big old castle. But it's a facade. Behind that facade is a little old, when you get behind the wall, there's a cottage. So the law of truth is something that's really, really important. The law of truth, the law of honesty, it invokes recognizing, accepting it, and expressing our authentic interior. And by that I mean it's about what's really going on inside. Who we are, who we really are, and not who we think we should be, not who we think people think we should be, not who we think society should think we should be, but who we are. You want to invoke the law of attraction? You want to make manifest that which you have been asking for? Then be honestly who you are. And it's freeing at that. The law of imagination, and I love this law. I love this law because this law can actually help you to achieve. This law can actually help you BAM things, and I'm going to tell you exactly what BAM means in a few. This law can help you BAM things into existence. The law of imagination is all about using your mind to perceive, then to conceive what it is that you want to manifest, what you want to magnetize to yourself. the opportunities through the law of consciousness, the opportunities and possibilities that you can make cognizant. So the law of imagination is about using your mind. Using your mind to create that which you say that you want. Using your mind to create that which we say or you say that you want, choosing it. Choosing it. And then by the law of command, speaking it into existence. The law of imagination can take you from where you are to where you want to be. It really, really can. This is why Disney movies are my favorite movies, especially the older Disney movies. The newer ones, they're nice and everything. I think the last one, I think Tangled was Disney. Don't quote me. But that was the last one, and I thought that was kind of cutesy. But this is why I love Disney. This is why I love Disney movies. It's the imagination. It's the imagination. If you can perceive it, you can then conceive it. Conceive. To conceive of. You can conceive it. And then, bam! It becomes yours. The law of belief. Oh, here we go. The law of belief. Whatever you believe with strong emotional feelings becomes your reality. Bam! B.A.M versus Abracadabra, Prosperity Part 3. B.A.M literally means believe and manifest. B.A.M. Believe and manifest. Whatsoever you believe with strong emotion, with passion, with feeling, becomes your reality. So if you are in a relationship and you believe that your significant other, your spouse, your business partner, your whoever is doing you wrong, has done you wrong, and will continue to do you wrong, bam! It will be wrong. That's what will happen. You will believe it and you will manifest it. Believe and manifest. Dabra, as I said earlier, is about knowing and believing that you can and will create something out of nothing. So abracadabra is along the lines of B.A.M. There is no B.A.M versus abracadabra. They're actually one and the same. Because much like the magicians of old who would stand on a stage and they're like, abracadabra, they believed that they could bring something out thing. And that's what you do when you're talking about the law of attraction. You are talking about bringing something out of nothing. And the wonderful news is that you can. The law of belief is huge. If you don't believe in your choice, if you don't, and you have to choose it first. If you don't believe in your choice, if you don't believe in the power of your spoken word, if you don't believe in the power of love, if you don't believe in the power of forgiveness, if you do not believe in the power of action and reaction, if you don't believe that you are a polar And you can magnetize by your polarity. You can magnetize something to you. It's not going to happen. If you don't believe that you can manifest, it will not happen. If you don't believe in being in the divine flow, it will not happen for you. So abracadabra and B.A.M are the same things. Dabra and B.A.M are the same things. So guys, the law of belief is this. Whatsoever you believe in with strong emotion, passion, and feelings becomes your reality. If there is something that you want to change in your life, change your belief. Choose to change your belief. And as you change your belief, your reality will change in the blinking of an eye or the twinkling of an eye. There's an old movie by John Wayne. And actually, the first time we ever spoke about belief on this show, I'm thinking that I actually spoke about this movie. And I saw this, I was a child when I saw this movie. And he had been, I guess, a pilot. I think he was a pilot. And there was an accident. And he had damaged his back. And he was in bed. He was bedridden. And they had said that he would never walk again. And after he got over his initial anger and the hurt that goes with all of that, he lay in bed and he changed his thought process by simply saying, I'm going to move that toe. And I've never forgotten that about that movie. Over and over and over and over and over again. And people would come in, his wife was beside herself, and his friends, his other flyboys would come in and they'd shake their head, when they come out, and they're really sorry for her, that he really thinks he's going to walk again. And that man walked again. And yes, it was a movie. But I love movie therapy. And that man said, I'm going to move that toe. And that man started out, one thing, moving his toe. Two things, moving other toes. And he walked. Believing can and will change your reality. But you have to first choose what it is that you want as your reality. With all of this comes, and this was the law of balance, and this is something that Olivia had added to this cachet, was the law of balance. Allow no one to tell you what your journey must reflect or what your reality is. When you allow your wishes and desires to become tainted, to become contaminated or adulterated by what others, their thoughts and feelings are about you and what you should do, then what you give is, or what you give away, is your power of attraction. You give away the law of, your law of attraction to somebody else when you don't realize that the journey that you're on has to reflect your reality. And the irony is that you may not realize this if you have reflected somebody's reality. You have done so through the power of your choice. By not reflecting your own and by mirror imaging what somebody else has wanted or their wanting is, you've done so because you have to choose it. Nothing happens lest you choose it first. Nobody knows what your spiritual journey must encompass, nor the divine design, the universal law of balance. It's recognizing that your journey, however you choose it, however you slice it up, must reflect what your reality is. So, B.A.M. Believe and manifest. Abracadabra. You use that means that you believe that whatever it is that you are wanting can come into existence. It can come into flow. Be very clear of what it is that you are wanting. Because again, what you say that you want, what you believe that you want, will become the reality of what you get. And it's as simple as that, guys. It is as simple as that. The law of attraction and prosperity, yes, they go hand in hand. And as I started out saying earlier, Olivia had said last week, which is true prosperity, finance and money is a byproduct of true prosperity. True prosperity is not just about being happy. It's not just about being healthy. It's not just about being your definition of spiritual. It's about a state of being. Your state of being. Ing is created by the choices that you make for yourself. And you get to choose for you. That's the other thing. As I was saying on Sunday, that the universal stork or God just didn't drop you off here. Bam! You didn't get dropped off here. There's a reason for your season. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you are inhaling and exhaling. There's a reason why the breath of life was blown into you. And one of those reasons is that you chose to be here. You chose it. You chose to be here, as the saying goes, on purpose, for a purpose. You choosing to be here on purpose, for a purpose, is about fulfilling a contractual agreement. And that contractual agreement could have been anything. I don't know. As in the law, the universal law of balance, I don't know what your journey is. And I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, how to make that journey. What I am here to do, like what you are here to do, is to show up upon this screen of space that you are living in and producing on and expressing on. To show up as your authentic self. Because while none of us are an island, we all interchange and exchange. So if you are authentic in fulfilling your purpose, and your purpose could be the best barista that there is out there. Your purpose could be the best bartender that's out there. Road sweeper, the best doctor, the best lawyer, the best president, the best nurse, doctor, nail technician, anything that's out there, any vocation that's out there. That could be your purpose. Because you fulfilling your purpose supports me in filling mine. Now, I am not dependent upon you. I didn't say I'm dependent upon you to fulfill mine. No, it supports me. It supports me fulfilling mine, as mine what I'm doing, like what I'm doing here today, it supports you in fulfilling yours. But I'm not dependent upon you to fulfill my purpose. Neither are you dependent upon me to fulfill yours. You see, it is your life. It is your choice. You can own your life. You can be responsible for your life. But you will be accountable for it. So you can play with the other two, but you will be accountable for it. The one thing that I'd like to say, and then I'm going to close, guys, is this. From your cradle to your grave, everything in between is predicated upon the choices that you make. And I mean everything. Create the life that you want to live through the power of your conscious choice, through the power of your conscious awareness of choice. The awareness brings you the possibilities and the opportunities that you can be cognizant of so that you can create the life that you want to live. Thing that I'm going to lay, or two other things I'm going to lay on you guys and then I'm done, is this. Your history is just that. It's history. You cannot change it, nor can you rewrite it. You can only take it and make something new from it. So your history is just that. It is history. Your life, your destiny is where you're at. So your history is not your destiny. Your history does not predicate your destiny. Because something has happened to you in the past doesn't have any bearing on what is going to happen to you in the future, lest you choose it. Your history is that. It's your history. It does not predicate your destiny. Your choices do. Your date of birth, 1960. And your date of death, or your date of transition or transmutation, whatever word you want to use. But the date when you leave here, and rest assured, as we're having this conversation, and you're hearing, all of us, none of us get out of here alive. So you're going to be leaving here. So your date of birth, mine's 1960, to your date of transition, whenever that is, 200, 2000, and what have you, when that stonemason takes that hammer and chisel, and on your tombstone or on your headstone or on your plaque, he takes that hammer and chisel and he says, BAM! B.A.M. It means that you have believed and you have manifested. That tiny hyphen speaks of everything that you have done, everything that you have believed, everything that you have manifested. And ironically, you can't take the car and the house and the children and the money. You can't take that, but you take the experience that you have had from it. You take the love, you take the joy, or you take the anger and the angst. You take that and you get to choose. So recognize that hyphen, BAM, believe and manifest, or believed and manifested, is all about you. It's all about you and your choices. It's all about you and your choices. So I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. I would like to thank you for tuning in today. I'm getting ready to head off to sign off. And once again, from your cradle to your grave, everything in between is predicated by the choices that you make. So to create the life that you want to live, use the power of your conscious choice, the conscious awareness of your choices to create the life that you want to live. We'll be back next week. I'll be back with my sidekick next week. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at Dr. Wendy Dearborne at Dr. Wendy at itsmylifemychoice.com. Other than that, I look forward to seeing your face in the place next week. Peace out. Love you guys. Love you, Debo. I see you on the line. Love you guys. Peace out. Until next week. Take care.